Good afternoon, I'm TheZOMBIEJ, and it's time for another video. I'm gonna give you a break from rant videos for a little bit. Let's remain positive for a while. You know, this turmoil. So, Lego space. Yeah. The future for Lego space seems to be non-existent at this point. It's looking pretty bleak. It's looking pretty sad, I'm gonna be honest. The last classic space kind of related thing that we got was the big freaking massive set that, well, is kind of a love letter to classic space stuff. And it was released in, what was it, 2022, along with a gift with purchase Blacktron set. And there was another Blacktron set that was released last year as well, a remake of an old set. And yeah. And then there was Benny's spaceship from the Lego movie. Let's not mention that. But despite all that, and well, besides this too, this little mini ship from the 90 Years of Play set, which I think this is pretty fucking cool. A little dusty, but yeah. I think this is cool. Despite all that, there doesn't seem to be much support for space anymore. Mostly because Lego is focusing on other shit like Ninjago. And all kinds of other things. Monkey Kid including that as well. So many other things. Star Wars, still. Marvel, DC stuff, still. And yeah. It seems like they're not pouring as many resources and time and whatnot into developing more space sets that kind of fit the mold of like the classic stuff, while still being modern in a way, having a modern touch to it, like the big ship thing that is kind of that's kind of what this is a small representation of. But yeah, it's kind of sad, to be honest, and it kind of sucks. Now, I will say one thing. I'm not the biggest fan of Lego space in general, but I do respect its legacy. I do have respect for Lego space, classic space, Blacktron, all that stuff. That's why I kept this thing built, because this is pretty cool. Again. So, it's really not good that Lego is not producing as many space sets as they probably should. And there hasn't been a space line that's solely devoted to space related sets since, well, it's been quite a while actually. Mars Mission was out in like the late 2000s or something like that, mid to late 2000s. And there was the original Space Mars sets. I don't remember what the line was called, but there were sets that came out in the early 2000s that were pretty cool. You slam on a pump thing and that shoots a pod through a bunch of tubes, and that's pretty cool. Now, there have been some Technic sets that were space related. In fact, I have one of them. That's the rover here. I mean, it has googly eyes on it. I only did that because Skybird did that. Because it's kind of cute, it's kind of funny, and yeah, it's silly, but whatever. But it's nice that space is... I mean, it was getting representation for a long time, for a while. And it seems like nowadays Lego is kind of waning in the fact that they are not producing as many space sets as they really should be. I mean, there's some Technic stuff that is pretty cool, but beyond what I've already said, there's the future for space, Lego space, is starting to, well, to be honest, it's kind of been looking pretty sad, and it feels like if someday they're gonna sort of completely phase out Lego space, including, you know, the gift with purchase stuff as well, like the Blacktron stuff. And that's gonna upset classic space fans and space fans in general. But every now and then you'll have something like the Technic Mars rover Perseverance, or you have something like this as like a polybag sort of thing. This one's not a polybag, but small enough to be a polybag. Every so often you'll have a small thing here and there, but as far as I can tell, space it's on a decline. It has been on a decline, actually, and it's not looking good. It really isn't. I mean, I understand why people gravitated towards space. The ships look pretty fucking cool. The spaceships look cool, space stations, the minifigs look great. What the fuck was that? And, you know, the Blacktron stuff looked great. There was all kinds of different space stuff. Mars Mission and the Life on Mars stuff, that's what it was. From the early 2000s. There was always some kind of representation of space in Lego. And it seems like they're just sort of, well, I don't want to say they're like ignoring space fans, but you know, they're only making a few sets from time to time. They're not making a full-on line of space stuff, and I fear that they may stop with the space stuff because they want to move on to other projects. They want to move on to other themes. They want to continue developing, you know, original IPs that will probably end up failing anyway, and then they'll probably try to bring back classic space, and then it's like, make up your mind, Lego. I haven't seen many space sets, modern Lego space sets, that were worth my time, honestly. I mean, again, this is cool for what it is. It's adorable. And, this... well, fuck you too, Mask of Creation. This is pretty cool. I like this. I think there's a much bigger version of this, but I don't know if that actually exists. So... I know there was some old Lego space sets, like there was a satellite of some sort that I had. I definitely remember what it looks like, but like my grandmother once bought it for me, I think, for Easter one year. I don't remember, but yeah, I remember having some space-related stuff. I didn't have a lot of it, but hey, the only things I have now are the two items I just showed you, so. But space, there's just not much of it left anymore. It feels like Lego has not much left in terms of creativity when it comes to making new space stuff. I might be 100% wrong on this, but as far as I can tell, they're really slowing down on the space stuff, and it's not looking good. And at this point, they're gonna probably phase it out at some point. Now, whether it be next year or I don't know. To be honest, I feel like they shouldn't phase out the space stuff, because there will always be a time when fans want to have a Lego spaceship of some sort, like this. But maybe it doesn't sell enough. That's probably the thing. Maybe the big spaceship that this is a smaller version of didn't sell enough, probably because it was more than $100. And then the gift with purchase Blacktron thing was pretty cool. Nice recreation of the old little ship thing with modern stylings and whatnot. And then the other Blacktron recreation thing looked pretty cool. It was kind of weird, but hey, looked cool. There doesn't seem to be much of a market for space Lego space stuff anymore than there used to be. Because Lego still makes space, but in small numbers, and it's just not good. I think one thing that they should bring back is classic ninja stuff. You know, whenever they decide to put an end to Ninjago, replace Ninjago with the classic ninja stuff from like the late 90s. I remember having a set or two. Hell, I have an instruction manual and even an incomplete copy of a little tiny set, a little raft sort of thing with a bow and arrow stuck on it with a ninja character to be on. And I still have the ninja character too. So you get my point. Classic ninja stuff would be nice to have instead of Ninjago, but at this point it doesn't make sense for Lego to cancel Ninjago anytime soon, but I mean, they can always bring it back if they really wanted to, but that's going to cost a lot of money. But yeah, space. It seems like there's not much of a market for space anymore, for Lego space stuff. I mean, if you want space stuff, you can go and get what they have out now, or you can go back and, you know, find the old stuff from Life on Mars, Mars Mission, the old stuff from like the 90s and 80s probably, I don't remember. But there's always something out there for a space fan to enjoy. I know Lego Creator line has they had a spaceship, which is the classic looking spaceship, you know, the one that everybody wants to build. Big white thing with a black bottom thing. I don't know. It has a probe thing that comes out of it. Yeah, that's been done so many times that it's annoying, and I'm sick of it. But space, it might be declining rapidly, but hey, at least Machists are able to make their own Lego space stuff and do it better than Lego can ever dream of. I think Jangbricks did some space-related mocks that were pretty cool. I could be wrong, but I don't know. What do you think about the future of Lego space? Is it as bleak as it seems to be right now? Or is it just sort of, you know, on life support? I think it's on life support, really. There's always a potential revival for space, for Lego space. I keep wanting to say classic space, but that's been already done 1,000,001 times. But seriously, personally, I don't want Lego to sacrifice the Lego space stuff at all, because the fans who want that stuff, they're gonna cry foul that it's not on shelves. Where's the space stuff? I want the space stuff. Where's the space stuff? Where is it? You get what I'm saying. So, in a way, it feels like it doesn't really make sense for Lego to have to phase out the space stuff, because there's always going to be some kind of space Lego set out there, and designers are probably coming up with something new right now, coming out next year. But I mean, what do you think? Is Lego space on life support? Is it on a rapid decline? Do people even care about Lego Space anymore? I do, because of the 2 items that I have. I mean, this looks pretty freaking cool, to be honest. I mean, I wasn't gonna pay a ton of money for the big set, or the 2 Blacktron recreations, because I didn't have the money at the time. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And also, if you're a fan of classic Space and Blacktron and Yellowtron, or whatever the fuck Tron, what are your fondest memories of those sets? Post in the comment section below. And yeah, if you like classic Space and all the Lego Space stuff, if you don't like the modern stuff, well, I can understand, but hey, that's all it is. Lego can only do so much with their themes, but we should expect them to do better. We should expect better from them, and they need to do better when it comes to sets. Now, obviously, when it comes to Technic sets like this little poly bag, I mean, this can only go so far. So, well, that's it for this video. I'll be back with a couple more videos today. What time is it? 1:30 p.m. Alright, so put this thing back where it was. So, but yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I'm TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks later. Have a good fucking day, and peace.